Be the change you want to see. Make a difference by giving your money a purpose, a mission to do good. Welcome to Money with Mission, where we talk to individuals, businesses, and organizations who are taking the lead and whose actions are impacting the well-being of their communities and the world at large.
Welcome to Money with Mission. Today, I am very excited to have a friend of mine, BJ Johnson, joining us to talk about what he's doing in his community of North Carolina. BJ teaches sports professionals how to create a financial safety net through real estate while benefiting communities. BJ is a Villanova University alum with three Olympic Gold Medals in basketball as assistant director at USA Basketball and director of college scouting. He also is a player evaluation with a major NBA basketball team. If you want to know what that basketball team is, you guys, he's gonna be offering his chapter in a brand new book, Amazon #1 bestseller called Success Habits of Superachievers. We'll have it in the show notes. We'll talk about it here at the end. Welcome, BJ. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Felicia. Excited to be able to join you today.
I am too. I know you're running around a lot. Things are starting to pick up again in your scouting. Is that correct?
That is correct. NBA draft is November 18th, so we're full steam ahead trying to figure it out.
Good. I think you guys have been figuring it out. You're doing all right.
We hope so.
In the past, your team has improved a lot in the past few years, right?
Yeah, we have. So we're excited to continue to grow from where we started from, which was not so good.
All right, you guys, are we tempting you to get this chapter? You want this chapter. Yeah. Hey, BJ, I know you do real estate investing, but you didn't start out that way. I know that I read your chapter in the book, and one of the things that really impressed me is the one thing that you talk about a lot is your persistence. Let's give everybody a sense of what that is. You were born the fifth of six children in North Carolina. You grew up in North Carolina. Talk about your early years.
Yes. So my father passed away early. So my mom, as you mentioned, one of six children, and my mom had to figure things out. I was 2 years old at the time, and she was pregnant with my little brother. So tragedy, struck our family in a major way. And, credit to her, kind of looking back as a child, you don't really understand all the sacrifices that are made, to get you to where you are. And just looking back at my mom and the strength she had, she served as a great role model for us and our family, and really pushed us harder than we wanted to at times. But she pushed us to be able to achieve our goals, to dream big. All of us made it through college. All of us have our degrees, and it's understanding it wasn't necessarily an easy road. We didn't have all the resources that some of our friends had, in terms of being able to go and do things and attend camps and have all the, the things that we necessarily, wanted or saw other people have. But with what she had, she made do, and she gave us all that we needed. And through that, I learned a lot of great lessons of determination, persistence, and how to continue to press forward even in the midst of adversity.
So all that's really interesting. I want you to kind of think back. Is there anything in particular, is there anything that stands out that your mother did or said or encouraged you to do or encouraged you not to do that may have been a turning point for you? We all feel like our parents do so much for us, positive or negative. You just talked about how your mom instilled these things in you, which is amazing, as much work as she was doing, I'm sure. Is there anything in particular that stands out to you?
Yes, for sure. There's a common thread. I remember she, when things got hard at times, especially in different sports activities or even at school, she would never let us quit anything early. She said, if you start it, you got to finish it. And, I've seen that kind of play out at different times of my life, whether it be in athletics or even in my real estate, career, where things don't look like like you want them to, and they get really difficult and your back gets pushed against the wall. But I always go back to that lesson, one, it's okay to try. It's okay to step out there and get out of your comfort zone, and then see it all the way through, because you just never know what the end's going to look like. So there were many times I wanted to quit in various, endeavors. But that lesson always kept on ringing in the back of my head. Just, see it all the way through, see it all the way to the end, because you just never know. And, more times than not, almost every time, it's always turned out better than I anticipated. And I've always grown and gained the experience and gained the stripes, as well.
Yeah.
The lessons along the way that really helped me, persevere through.
That's amazing. Don't quit. Just keep going. Find a way around whatever obstacles come in front of you, it sounds like is what your mom taught you.
Absolutely.
So BJ, how tall are you?
I'm about 6'3".
6'3". Okay. So basketball players, what's the average basketball height?
It all depends. For my position, I was a guard, so that's the average, height for that. But guys are getting taller these days, so
That's what I was thinking.
5, this guys I've seen go 7'4", 7'6", so it's just he runs the gamut. So.
Okay. So were you a natural basketball player, or is it something that you had to work at? Were you just naturally were you natural at it?
No, far from natural. It's funny. I had a conversation with a guy I went to high school with, and he was kind of joking that, of all the guys to make it, play, Division I basketball and live out their dreams, I was probably considered the least likely to do that because I had probably the least amount of talent. But again, I had the most perseverance, and all that. So yeah, I definitely wasn't the most talented guy, but, my motto was, there might be people that work just as hard as me, but nobody's going to outwork me. So that's what kind of kept me pushing through.
Got it. Nobody can work as hard. Say that again?
There might be people that work as hard as I do, but nobody's going to outwork me. Is what my motto was.
No one's going to outwork me. Got it. So you ended up at Villanova and you got scholarships to the basketball team. How did that go?
No. So that's a part of my story. So, I was hoping to get a scholarship out of high school, and, that didn't happen. Got injured, and, things didn't go the way I wanted them to. So I tried out. I went to Villanova because it was, my dream to go there, and was fortunate enough to be able to get in school there, and decided I wanted to try out to be a walk-on. So I tried out my first year, worked extremely hard. Everybody else is partying on the weekends. I'm in the gym working hard, trying to, get to the point where I can achieve my dreams. And a lot of unfortunate circumstances happened. I get cut my first year, and then get ready to go the second year, and they canceled trials because they kept the guys from the previous year, and ended up having to work with the women's basketball team. But, I was like, again, it goes back to that same motto that, all right, they cut me every year, then at least I'll know that things weren't meant to work out. But I'm going to see it all the way through. And then the following year, my junior year, I was running the stairs, and they invited me to come down. I thought they were going to kick me out of the building because nobody would be around the men's team practicing. And they invited me to be on the team because they had seen my story and all that. So yeah, it's just one of those things that perseverance is probably one of the things in my life. You're going to keep on going.
Perseverance and persistence. So you said they had seen your story or heard your story, and that's what made them invite you. How had you gotten your story out there? How would they know?
Yeah, just by working with the women's team.
Okay.
Basketball departments are pretty connected there. So yeah, and I played with the men's team, during the summers and things like that. So I knew some of the guys, but yeah, they kind of saw me from a distance, and I kept on knocking on the door and asking, if they're going to have tryouts, and they always saw my face. That's for sure. So
yeah. So the other thing about your story, determination, persistence, and letting people know what you want.
Absolutely.
That you have to let people know, keeping your light under a barrel, or not letting people know that you want this. They may never ask you. So that's another important thing, is make sure you network.
That was outside of my comfort zone, since I'm a shy guy by nature. Mm-hmm. Extremely shy. Some people are shy. I'm extremely shy. But I knew if I really wanted this, I'm gonna have to get outside of my comfort zone and just try it. So yeah, the more I did that, the easier it got. To put myself out there.
And one of our mentors says that you're in a new place. Nobody knows you're shy. Only you do. So pretend like you're not, right?
Exactly.
You've done a good job. So you went to Villanova. You played basketball. You ended up with the United States Olympic team, it sounds like, with 3 gold medals. So this persistence, this determination has gotten you all the way to 3 gold medals. And then you decide to start investing in real estate. Tell me how that transition happened.
Yeah, I think the same story that probably 95% of the investors, at least that I know, by reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, get the bug in your ear, and the desire to try something different and to go against, what you've been taught or educated in most of your life to get a good job, and all those things that we're kind of indoctrinated in. So taking some of those lessons from Rich Dad Poor Dad and really wanting to start out there and launch out there for myself, really kind of launched me there. And we kind of stumbled into real estate a little bit. My mom was going through some hard times, so I was able to, take over a house and make sure that, didn't go into foreclosure. Once I got married, we had a decision to, either try to sell my wife's house or keep it and rent it out. So we decided to rent it out and try that out. It was our first, real experience, with renters. And, that took us through some nightmare stories of, cats and, people tearing up your place and all the things that, nightmare stories. We've had a bunch of them.
Yes.
So, yeah, we persevered through that, and a few different property managers and kind of enduring that journey. But it never daunted us, once we really got started and saw, that it was possible and still scalable and things like that. We wanted to continue to persevere and, acquired a few more houses along the way. And I took a big risk, for me at least. I didn't have a lot of money, but I took out a loan and, I saw a fourplex come on market in Colorado Springs and took a stab at it, and it really worked out. Colorado Springs is still a hot market right now, so that really really took us off into to our investing career, and we never looked back since then.
Wow. So I missed the part about Colorado. You guys were living in Colorado at the time when you bought the fourplex?
Correct. Yeah, Colorado Springs,
okay.
Where the Olympic movement is based.
Okay.
So yeah, we moved out there. I was there, already, and then my wife Pauline moved out when we got married.
Did she know you had this real estate bug when she married you, or how did that work out? Did you have to talk her into it? Because sometimes having a partner, even if they don't do it with you, they have to be on board. So how was that difficult for you?
She's pretty open, which was great. So I didn't have to do much convincing. We kind of came to that first decision, ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, she was on board. She's definitely not as much risk taking that I am, and about playing the cash flow game. It's funny how that was kind of came out about our personalities. We learned about each other a lot by playing the cash flow game, in terms of my willingness to take risk and her aversion to risk at times. But it was actually helpful, marriage therapy for us to be able to communicate that our terms, and as long as it makes sense and doesn't put ourselves in too risky territory, she was pretty good to go on that things.
That's actually pretty common. So a couple of things there. Cash Flow 101 is a Rich Dad Poor Dad game. For anyone who doesn't know that, it's Cash Flow 101. It's a great game. Teaches you financial literacy. It sounds to me, when I first heard about it, sounding like, really, that sounds like the most boring game in the world. It's a pretty exciting game. My kids played it back when they were in the third grade. We would play, and they actually have a kids version of the game, but we never played the kids version. It was always the adult version. Great game. Just like BJ said, take your partner, play the game. You'll learn a lot about each other. They even use it as marriage therapy. So there you go.
Yes.
Money with Mission is a real estate and business investment company that specializes in finding projects that have the potential to give you a great return on your investment dollar and make an impact in the communities where we invest. Make a difference in your life and the lives of others. Go to moneywithmission.com to learn more. So you had your house, you bought the fourplex in Colorado. How did you get to North Carolina? And did you keep those properties in Colorado when you went to North Carolina?
So when I changed jobs to work in the NBA, they allowed us to live where we wanted to. So we just adopted our son with that process. So we just felt like it made sense to be closer to family, because especially I knew I was going to be traveling a lot. So to have that support system, with my wife Pauline and our son Emery there by themselves, it was great to have both of our moms around. So that's what took us to North Carolina. That's where we both grew up. And then we wanted to keep the properties in Colorado Springs. The market was starting to heat up then, but then we discovered some areas in North Carolina that were great as well. So we ended up selling our properties both properties in Colorado Springs and did pretty well off of it.
Uh-huh.
They were able to 1031 exchange that, rolling the proceeds from that sale into another property, into some properties closer to us in North Carolina. and scaled up a little bit, went from a 4-plex to a 12-unit building there, and look to continue to go on with our real estate stuff.
Got it. So 1031 exchange, for anyone who doesn't know what that is taking the profits or the proceeds from a sale of one type of real estate and rolling it into another real estate deal, and you avoid paying capital gains taxes on that by doing that. So he went from a 4-plex and a couple of houses to a 12-plex without a tax consequence in that. I know, BJ, that you and Pauline are looking at properties and improving neighborhoods. How did you get to that? What got you to wanting to make neighborhoods and communities better?
It's just always the heart of ours. Anything that we do is just not driven by the dollars and cents of it. The dollars and cents are extremely important to make sure that the deal works and you're able to sustain both yourself and the deal. But we always have a people component based upon our faith and how we believe is hugely essential to us. That if we can't be impacting others' lives, then it's not really worth it at the end of the day, because that's what we believe we're here for. So yeah, that's our desire, is that wherever we go, that we improve the area, the building, the neighborhood that we're in, that it's better because we're there. So that's always an essential part of what we do to try to improve the quality of life of our tenants in terms of providing safe, quality places for them to live, and then hopefully improving the area around them as well.
Got it. Also the eye on the investment and making that worth more so that the asset is worth more and your investors get a return on their money also. Is that correct?
That's first and foremost. And it's funny, I had to learn that lesson that while it's very important for us to have thoughts for our tenants, at the same time, we've got to take care of our investors, as well. They have their lives, they're putting their trust into us as well. And we have a huge responsibility to them to make sure that they're well taken care of in this whole process. So yeah, they've got to be at the forefront of anything that we do to make sure that, one, the deal makes sense, and then we're not going to expose them to any unnecessary risk. So at the same time, knowing that's our number one priority, but we're also taking care of the people that are living in our buildings as well.
Perfect. So one thing people worry about when I talk to them about improving neighborhoods is a gentrification, and we're going to improve a neighborhood and the people that once lived there can't afford to live there anymore. How do you manage that?
That's always the big challenge, and something, to be honest with you, I don't know if we have a perfect answer for. For us, our thought is there's ways for us to partner with people. So we've done a couple of deals where, we're not necessarily kicking the tenants out, but we're coming alongside of them and partnering with them so that they can benefit, alongside of us. So we worked on some things where we can, actually even partner with, those that have complete ownership of their properties.
Uh-huh.
They're not interested in necessarily maintaining it or whatever. That maybe we can give them either some money to, compensate them well for the property, or make them investors alongside is some of the models that we've been testing as well. So it's still a work in progress. It's not an easy issue. I guess if it would be already solved and figured out. But we're looking at creative ways to see if we can come alongside other people that we're working with to make sure that they're taken care of, if they aren't interested in their properties anymore, or allow them to participate in some of the equity as investors as well.
So instead of going in and taking advantage of someone and buying their property at a low rate, building something in that scenario, you may have the landowner actually use their land as the investment. Now they're part of the equity deal. Is that what you're saying? So that is their investment into the deal?
Absolutely.
Okay. So then you have to do the same thing you would do if someone was investing money. The whole project has to make sense for you to want their land or have their land invested into the project, correct?
Right. Correct.
Got it.
There comes some pitfalls with that too, especially if you're dealing with families and things like that. So
yeah,
we work through some various challenges, but I do like the model. I think it definitely has potential. But like you said, at the end of the day, the deal has to make sense as well. So.
Yeah, but with one of the things that you're good at, BJ, is hanging in there and talking until somebody understands the thing that's you're not taking advantage of them. And with you and Pauline, you can feel it from you that you're not trying to take advantage of anybody. And a lot of people come at a deal when somebody's trying to get their parents' land. It feels like they're trying to take advantage of them. I think once they sit down and really talk to you, you'll break through that wall of fear, and that's going to go. Hang in there. That's a great idea to me.
Yeah, one of the things that we another model that we have is take advantage of opportunities, not people.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what we lead with, to see if there are opportunities for us to get involved and see if everybody can win. But we're not going to just take advantage of the people there and leave them out to dry. It's just not how we want to do things.
Right. Perfect. So what project are you working on now? And is it something you can talk about with our audience?
Yeah, I can give a high level view.
Okay.
We're currently have bought a piece of property in Greensboro, North Carolina, that's in the opportunity zone that we're going to tear down the building that's existing there and build 5 townhome units on it.
Uh-huh.
It's a unique opportunity because it's right on the line of the opportunity zone. So it's kind of funny that when people find out that's an opportunity zone, they're always shocked because the houses around there is in the nicest area of Greensboro. So housing prices start at $600,000 and up. So it's one of those unique deals that, we're fortunate to be able to partner alongside of another person that's helping on the development side of it. But that's our first major or first foray into the actual ground up development, which we're excited about inside an opportunity zone.
Nice. So you're looking for investors for that now, or you're not quite ready, or where are you with that?
Yeah, we're getting ready to really launch full steam ahead. We've already gotten major interest in it, which is great. So we feel pretty confident that it'll close quickly. But really at this point, we want to work with the right people in terms of investor wise. So if they have the same heart and mind as us, then we're definitely open to the conversation and to figure something out. We're not looking for any money. We're looking for the right money for sure. So.
Perfect. BJ. Well, you and I already talked, so I'm interested in this. We need to talk some more about that. Everybody else who has any interest in learning more about BJ, a couple of things. You can go to his website, metamorphinvest.com. If you want to know more about BJ's current occupation, go to moneywithmission.com, and you can get his chapter in the recently published Success Habits of Superachievers. It would be great if you went to get the book also. Can they get the book from your site, BJ?
We're working on that. So by the time this goes out, they should be able to as well. Okay.
So you can get the whole book. And this book has got some amazing people in it. BJ's in there with Darren Hardy, Dennis Waitley, Les Brown. I'm just going to stop right there because the list is very, very long of amazing people, including BJ Johnson. So go to moneywithmission.com, click on the link, and you will get to be able to get the chapter. And if you go to Metamorph Invest, you'll be able to get the book, sign up, learn about what BJ is doing. It's quite impressive. And in the meantime, while you're sitting there thinking about what to do with your money, always think about sending it out to have a mission for you, improving communities and your bottom line. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed the interview and are inspired to give your money a mission. Until next time, send your investment dollars into the world to bring you a financial return and improve the lives of others.
You've been listening to Money with Mission. There are projects happening right now where you can make a great return while positively impacting the lives of others. To learn more about today's guest or to download 7 steps to building resilient wealth for women, visit www.moneywithmission.com.